Det passar här i United One. Dagens rapport, eller sammanlagt, ska handla just om hur man kan bridge the gap mellan generationer. Det är så att jag och Liliana har varit på en workshop i Canberra för 2 veckor sedan. Så vi ville dela med oss av vad vi har upplevt där och vad vi tog med oss därifrån. Så välkommen upp Liliana.
Det är du som börjar.
Ja, just det. Det är jag som börjar. Ja, kom på det. PowerPoint var där. Nej, det var PowerPoint.
To push the PowerPoint, where shall we push? Here?
You need to start there. I don't know.
Yeah. Where shall we push? Here? Okay.
Fast. Oh no, this is casual men's.
Ja, det var fel. Ursäkta. Jag ska hitta rätt PowerPoint bara.
The desktop. Skrivare. Nej, det är skrivbord. Inte skriva. Är det 9:e juni?
Ja, precis. Det där ska stå.
Yes. Let's stänga casual men's.
Tack för era tålamod. Smart. Kan vi börja?
Sladdar.
Yes.
Okej.
Ja, så projektet, eller den workshopen, hette ju Project Phenix som vi var på i Canberra. Och tänkte börja med att bara berätta hur det började. Det här började alltså i Phoenix, Arizona 2016. 2016 av en grupp äldre och yngre medlemmar i rörelsen som hade för avsikt att skapa ett relevant och för sin tid lämpligt utbildningsmaterial eller upplevelse kan man säga. Men den här gruppen då som samlades av äldre och yngre förstod ganska snabbt att man såg saker på väldigt olika sätt. Och att man hade haft helt olika upplevelser inom våran rörelse. Så det slutade med att i 2 dagar spenderade man med att lyssna på varandra. Och
På flyget?
Det var på flyget till Canberra. Så man spenderade alltså 2 dagar med att lyssna på varandra med öppna sinnen i ett vardagsrum i Phoenix, Arizona. Och insåg att det fanns väldigt mycket missuppfattningar och missförstånd mellan generationerna. Men när alla delade med sig och på ett djupare plan och verkligen började lyssna på varandra från de olika generationerna, då började man mer och mer förstå varandra och uppskatta varandra och de upplevelserna man har haft. Och istället för det här ursprungliga utbildningsprogrammet man hade tänkt att skapa så insåg man att man behöver skapa ett program verkligen för att bygga en partnerskap över generationerna. Och på det viset föddes Project Phenix. Jag tänkte bara så vi får en liten bakgrund. Så den som tog det till Tyskland var en tjej vid namn Maike. Jag kommer inte ihåg henne.
Tisterman.
Just det, Tisterman. Ja, det står där. Maike Tisterman. Och hon var inspirerad att ta projektet till Europa. Så att hon bjöd in den här gruppen då. Ja, hon är där, precis. Hon blonda där. Maike. Så att hon såg till att Project Phenix kom till Tyskland. Så det var faktiskt mest tyskar. Men vi var några representanter från några andra länder också. Bland annat Ivan Chatti från Norge och så. Och Cecilia Fortune från England. South London, tror jag. Hon är från. Så. Ja, och vi tänkte fortsätta här, Liliana fortsätter här med lite fars ord faktiskt. Ja, varsågod. Eller ja, just det, då.
Fungerar det? Okej. This was part of the Hondoke, was father's words from October 28, 1988, 81. It was a historical Children's Day, is the title. And I will read just shortly, not everything. Father said, oh, it's very high. It's okay. Okay. Today.
Okay.
Okay. So, today I am declaring, now is no sound.
Jag ska stänga av min. Ja, det är det som är problemet.
So, okay, Father said, today I am declaring a new beginning. The leader-center movement is over and the member-center movement is going to begin. The Unification Church is one family, and I am concerned and worried about each one of you, and you should be concerned with each other as brothers and sisters. What we need now is an environmental kingdom of heaven. If you only move in one direction, that is not so good. You must move in 360 degrees in all directions. My teaching today is that as much as you love God through parents, you should love the world and unite with it. Don't shy away from adverse conditions or from smelly or ugly brothers and sisters. They are the ones who need you. Willingly participate in the dirty places and make them fragrant. Don't run away from problems, but face them and conquer them. God feels greater joy when He sees that you love each other more than even you love Him. Parents want to see their children loving each other more than they love their parents. So our ultimate goal is Canaan. While we are marching toward Canaan, our supreme duty was to follow orders. But once we enter Canaan, we don't need to live by commands, but by love. This is that time. We are arriving now, and we must live in a God-like way. And it continues, but what a little bit the essence of Father's word.
Ja, precis så. Vi ser ju mer och mer att folk tar egna initiativ som High Noon Project, som kanske några av er har hört om. Och även det här projektet, att det här kommer från liksom gräsrötterna, folk känner att det här är något vi behöver. Så. Jag tänkte bara ge en snabb liksom, hur workshopen var uppbyggd. Det var så att vi satt, som ni ser här på bilden, så fanns det ungefär 8 grupper. Och då var det ungefär hälften från den lite äldre generationen och hälften som var lite yngre. Så de kallade det familjer. Så det var liksom där hela processen skulle ske liksom i familjen.
Varje bord,
precis. Precis, varje bord var som en liten familj. Så, och som sagt, vi var runt 80 personer var vi. Vi var ungefär 80 personer. Och det var så att det var liksom ett kort anförande. Och sen så var det mer övningar, alltså mer praktiska övningar.
Får jag säga då?
Ja, absolut.
This lady is the wife of one of the founders, who happens to be Mark Anderson. And she's Lucia Anderson. So I wanted to take a photo too, just because it was Anderson and Carlson at the same time. This is one of the first. The thing is, let me make a little summary before we describe each one.
Yeah.
So, These are part of works of Sara Zimmerman. She's the Blessed Family Department responsible in Germany. So she wrote certain things, and I also spoke with her, so I put together. She said this: there was a deep heart and great professionalism in the American team that were willing to pay their own flights to come and share the project in Europe. The goal was to improve our communication skills and deepen our understanding and appreciation of others, especially the other generation. So the main people were German community, but a few participants came from each European region, like North, South, Central, and West Europe. The presentations were short and to the point, followed by exercises done in our table groups or family groups to practice what we just have heard. We were moved to tears many times by the honest sharing of others. This created an atmosphere of loving trust where no one felt judged. And we spoke very, very open about things of our hearts. I think everyone was motivated to continue their efforts to have sincere, honest, and simply more communication at some level to be in a relationship with the family or community. One participant commented that if we can create such a deep connections among us in a space of this short weekend, how much deeper we can go with people we are already close to, our families, our communities, for example. Another comment on how valuable the program was is the pain of past experiences for both first and second generations is just going to stay in us if we don't do something about it. So the participation of all generations that were there is an open and trusting place for everyone to communicate and get to know each other's lives. This point gives great hope for the future of our movement. And then she said to me that in Gießen, where Christopher lives, they had a Zoom meeting, when they are all together and see each other and talk, and did brainstorming. And I know there are a lot of young couples and people there, and she said that they got a lot of ideas what we could do. So that is very free for each one to decide. That was it. 10 minutes. Vertige.
Ja.
Vi ska prata om vertige, the things that they propose.
Ja, so maybe I switch to English so everybody can understand. So basically what we got was this workbook, and in it that's how we work. It's kind of that, like I said before, they give a short testimony or some content. So actually one of the first things we talked about was listening. So, and I thought, okay, well, listening, of course, we should listen with a whole heart, this thing. But it was when we listened to somebody, but it was very good. Like, we get to practice. So they talked about listening, and then we got to practice it within our family, so to speak, the family table. So
and there was good listening and
yes,
not
so
so good
we got
listening.
to try out good listening and bad listening. So for example, me and another person at the table, we first tried to, somebody was going to share something from our heart, and the other person was just going to look down and not care, and
With
and
the phone.
or with the phone. So just, and first I thought, okay, this is simple and we know this, but at the same time, like, just to practice it like this, or just to have the feeling like not being listened to was very painful, actually, because we were supposed to share something from our heart. So I think at this point, it was really good that there were some practical things going on as well, so that we were not just sitting and listening, but actually actively trying to see how can we be a good listener, how does a bad listener do.
May I say something?
Yes, of course.
One detail was like, because you can be listening and you are just thinking what you are planning to say, and also interrupt and the person cannot finish what he is saying. So those things, for the deep communications, is better to avoid. Yeah.
Yeah, precis. So there were, yeah, we're talking about different points like that. Let's go see here. Sorry. Um, yeah, so for example, me, they talked about different, like you said, how to not be a good listener. So for example, me, I'm master at hijacking conversations. I will just jump in and like, oh, but this and this and this, and people are like, no, that was not really what we were thinking or talking about. So I was like, okay, that's a point I need to become better. So yeah. So basically, they were saying that you actually acknowledge somebody's existence by giving them your full attention. You actually acknowledge that that person exists, and that's very important. Yeah. So that's like one simple building block for better communication. And also unsolicited advice is one thing they talked about. So actually, without the person asking, you give a lot of advice, but you should do this and you should do this, and not maybe actually listening to what the person really wants to say, or yeah. See? Yeah, I think that was it. You can continue,
So I continue.
with the other part, yes.
Yeah, there was some. The MCs were two young Americans, and what he said in the beginning, I remember he said, and he also mentioned about lineage, and everything has to do with communication, and the quality of the communication we create, and it's passed on. And so he gave his testimony, um, and he said that he said so many things, but because they were four sisters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really.
And he was very intelligent and ambitious, was going to study and do, etc. But he felt his man was always like, I don't know, sorry I mixed the language, shatade.
She was nagging him, or
Yeah,
like,
nagging and yelling, and so he was very angry with his mother, but he didn't say. And then he described things that he felt, and then he said, this is when you put yourself in the victim land. And to be a victim, because this is important, I think we all have some kind of, we don't understand communication skill. He said, you do things so you feel justified. Like, okay, my mother is like this, so I don't speak to her anymore, and then I don't know, it's kind of long, but then you take some kind of attitude so you look good. You say, I'm, I'm angry and I don't respect him, but I cannot speak, and he will be there and I will be here, like this, for 17 years. And then also you blame for what is wrong, and then you take also an attitude to be right. Um, So what consequences? There are a lot of feeling that anybody could develop, because there was a sister who told another story, but instead of speaking about with her mom, was with herself. But then this feeling, you can feel incompetent, used, that you failed, or helpless, or this thing is unfair, loneliness, judged, misunderstood, rejected, not enough, I'm not important, etc. So we have to learn not to go to the victim land and to have this victim attitude, because it can continue the relationship like this, and it has to do with communication, because after long time, once they could come together and speak, and the mom understood, she was very sorry about it, and she embraced him, and it was solved. Um, Similar with the sister was Sancha, that she came with High Noon. She was also there, part of the MC, and very also honestly, she said that she had a sister with special needs, with some. So the parents said to her, "Please take care of her." So she felt this responsibility for the rest of her life. So, and she had to be serving, and she said, I did so many things, serving, and pleasing others, so I forgot myself. And a lot of feelings of not being important and not never being enough, etc. So again, those similar example of real life. Uh, to understand when we go to this victim land and try to, somehow make something to change it. This was called victim behavior. And then each one of us in our family group had to say something. Um, but I will not speak about what I said because it will be too long. But it was very interesting because sometimes you don't discover things that happen and you think that's normal or that's life, but it's not. Maybe I could say shortly. When I was 13, started with teenagers, and then I started to like boys. So I went one day to Mama and said, Mama, this boy in the school, and I want a little bit advice and, some feedback and so. My mother was busy. That was her work at home. So she smiled, she said something and turned away. So then I thought, okay, I don't have Mama for this area. The other things were wonderful, food and clothes and very loving, and she couldn't. So then I felt lonely, and then I started to be very independent the rest of my life, etc. And I accepted because she was very kind and we loved each other. But many years later, I understood that my mother was in a long period of mourning because my brother had died. We were just two, and he died when he was 8, and he was such a loving, and she adored him, and he was gone like this in an accident. So it took many years to recover, so she could not speak about feelings. She just couldn't. So somehow you have to forgive or talk about, but she was not anymore because I came to Sweden and she died young. So that was not solved as otherwise it's good to solve it. Yeah, because then we become more balanced inside, and we are not this or this. We are not. It's something that has to come back to the balance. Anyway, um, another point was.
Yeah. Actually, one point also we talked about, like you said, we shared a lot in our groups, which was very nice, and it was very touching that people could be open and really share. Some people said it was like therapy, really talking about things that have happened or relationship with parents, or things. Also the split in the church, and people were talking about many. Yeah, there were many different things that came up in relationship with parents, with siblings. But also, like one thing we did was as well appreciation. So after all this, when we had shared, um, also when they said one important thing is to really appreciate somebody, and like how to appreciate somebody, and also this with eye contact, and to say the person's name, and really be specific what you're thankful for. and also be genuine. So that was one thing we ended the workshop with. We really thanked each other. We looked in each other's eyes and in our family and really thanked each other for sharing and really pointed out things we were grateful for in that person. So I think that was a very, very beautiful thing as well.
In other words, be interested in the other person.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, and another part of the program was honoring generations. So that was a very nice part of the program, I think, because we split up. So the elder ones were in one group, and the younger ones were in another group, and we just shared different points. I don't know
In
if we
different
have.
rooms.
Oh no, we don't. I don't know if we have that one. Yeah, hearing the generation, honoring the generations. I don't know if you can see the questions, but the first question was, how do you think the other generation sees you? So and the second is, what do you admire about the other generation? Number 3, what can you learn from the other generation? And number 4, what do you wish the other generation understood about you? So we discussed freely for maybe 1 hour, and all the answers were written down.
It's a brainstorm.
Yeah, it was like just people throwing out what they felt.
And someone wrote.
And someone wrote, yeah, everything that came out. And then the next part came hearing the generations. And then, for example, I would say, we think you see us as blah, blah, blah. And it was, yeah, very good, I think, because many issues came out and many good points and things that need to be worked on, like how the different generations see each other. So I think that was very valuable, and many people thought that was a very, very valuable part of the program.
Can I say something?
Of course.
Yeah, because I was surprised when many of them said that they would like to be with the elders, and they would like to, that they need the elders and would like to, get advice or do things together and so. So I was happy to hear that. Because many times we think, okay, we are old-fashioned or technically
Deficient.
it was in the list, etc. But and some people said the elders are just wonderful, and others they are chatting. So it was everything. So it's a very nice mixture of everything. But at least it came out. And then we understood, and also how the young people understood how much parents love them. Even we don't speak with them. Sometimes we cannot give the emotion, but how much we love them.
Yeah, that was a very nice point.
Yeah. This I already read. It was Father's. This was my, can I say?
Yeah, of course.
This was my family table. And this photo was taken just in a few minutes because we had to leave very early Sunday. We could not finish. So we just put ourselves together and someone took a photo. And it was very nice. Here is France. He comes from Norway. And the rest were Germans. Yes.
And in my team, actually, I had Elizabeth's husband, Joseph, was in my team, and Ella van Kampen was in my team, or in my family.
She's the daughter of Pippenburg, if you know him. Pippenburg family, one of the children. Very nice also. Next. Okay, this.
Yeah, and this was also one point. We actually even got a card. See if I find it. This was in the end of the workshop.
Visa.
Yeah. We got a card, game, or what you say, and it was actually going even deeper. So it was actually there was a mother and a daughter who were volunteers, and they were up on stage, and they answered these questions. Like they took one of the cards, and they answered the question, and then they gave it to the other person. So they actually were really vulnerable to go up on stage, and I
Very.
think they were really brave to go up on stage. So, and then they actually answered these questions to one another, like, how do you think I see you? What do you admire about me? What do you wish I understood about you? What are you sorry for? What do you want to say thank you for? What do you want to let go of? And what do you want to do differently in our relationship? And what do you need from me? So, yeah.
It
So
was a lot of tears.
Yes, it was very good, I think, and very just opening up the hearts and really going deeper.
May I say also, that was Micah's mom and the elder sister happened to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so actually in the workshop as well, we talked about mirroring. So one of the MCs from America, he's a coach, and also we had family counselors there, and I think a lot from the program was actually taken from things from psychology, and also like this mirroring, like how to have a deeper conversation by saying, did you really understand did I understand it correctly? Like saying, okay, did you say this and this? Is this what you mean? And then the other person, yes or no. Yeah, so we did lots of exercises like this. So yeah, it was really, really inspiring. And also that they were professionals there. And yeah, he was David Young, was from Ohio. He was one of the MCs, so he was really inspiring.
Very, very smart boy. When he spoke with the other person, when they spoke, they came together, it was a session, and he wrote mind and body, like, these circles, remember? And he said, in Chinese, and he wrote it in Chinese because he has Chinese mom. And then he said, who is Chinese here? And there were two people that raised their hand. Where would you show in your body when you say mind and body? And they did, like this. The heart. We wouldn't think like that. In the West, mind is here. And then also they spoke something about it. All this, just how to, I would say, have the courage to open up and share this. And the key is that the base is that there is no judgment. You could say whatever, and even the most vulnerable and exposing, and without judgment. So then you have the courage to say more. So if this you do with your partner or in families, children, or extended families, or anybody, this can solve things that are, I don't know, trapped inside us. And the last one,
Oh ja, det var...
is the hair.
Ja, precis.
So in the little booklet, it says through our lens. It means that people came and spoke about from their own point of view. So, sorry, I will say something that Mark Anderson spoke. They were 4 people. And that was, everything started in his living room with Lucia and some friends. So he spoke a little bit about his testimony, and he said that he's 64, sorry I don't have a photo, a son of a Presbyterian minister. He worked very openly, actively in the American Freedom Coalition. It was in the 80s when Father said, get involved in politics. So he and the other Mark, I forget the last name, became politicians. And later on, and he said, to build the kingdom of God, we had to make good laws. So he said, they could be successful in certain laws, like I didn't write all the, but certain laws that were, beneficial for the population. So he said we could accomplish several goals to move the providence forward. But then my lens began to change. How to build the kingdom of heaven in that kind of environment. Because also he became a judge. So I suppose he was a lawyer. We didn't ask that. He was a judge. So this was his job. And he was always thinking how to build the kingdom of heaven here.
And yeah, he felt that that was through being a judge, through getting through laws, which he was successful in, like you said. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
several things he could pass new
so
laws.
he thought that would change his state, or that would really change things for the better.
But then he thought to be a judge, by judging people, I cannot build the kingdom of heaven. So he stopped. He quit. And also he felt he was not so involved with his own family. So he decided to put all his heart, effort, and time in that to build the kingdom of heaven. How to live in the kingdom of heaven every day. The world is not going to change so quickly as I thought, he said. But I can love you every day, to his wife. I wrote this. Maybe I stop, because just to make how he changed my point of view. So he was there, and this project started to see how can we promote the kingdom of heaven through having better communication and express our love or our sorrow or whatever, and overcome that. So we are more free and more strong and more happy. So if we are happy, we can give this to other people. And if we are not, we cannot give what we don't have. And in the end, the title was The Power of Fun, because we need to have fun in life too. So there were several different kind of games, which I couldn't be because I was traveling with the train and the trip and everything. But everybody seemed to have fun.
Yeah, we did rock, paper, scissors, and just
fish
very
bowl,
simple games, but we
fish bowl and telephone Pictionary.
Yes. So it was just to make people have some fun and to be together. So it was really nice.
Yeah. And then what also we missed, but Sara Zimmerman said to us, why don't you, if you share with each other, we could make a brainstorm. What could we do?
Yes. So the question is like, how do we want to do something in Sweden with this, or just brainstorm ideas, how it can become better at taking care of each other, or communicating better, or different things.
Find platforms and places for sharing, doing things together. We thought one idea yesterday with Sara, something that Doreen used to say, maybe after 3 months, we celebrate the birthday of all those people that had birthday those 3 months. Remember, we had a cake, and that could be something simple.
To show appreciation.
Yeah. Even this 50 years anniversary for the church, Hans is inviting people, but imagine if we could make sketches or music or sing or dance or whatever, just to enjoy being together and celebrate life, etc. I don't know if you have any idea. We said, Järvafältet, where we live, is huge. We could play this coop there. And then have little knit or little eating or so. Simple things. In the summer with the sun, can be very nice. Another thing
Yes.
you want to say?
Oh yes. Yes. One thing we were thinking about was to have some kind of farewell thing for Östbergs.
Family
Just
Osberg is
Östberg.
moving to the south of Sweden. And we thought if we could do something, little bit farewell, deed, and would be nice.
Yeah.
You have some idea?
If anybody
Or we
has
can think
anything-
about it and
Yes.
speak another day.
Yes.
Asadu?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention one thing. In India, they installed in the Minister of Happiness.
Oh yeah. It's true.
And then they changed it even some while ago to Minister of Spirituality.
Ah,
Minister of Happiness. We need that in Sweden.
yes, we do.
Okay.
Definitely.
Ministry of
Yeah,
Happiness.
it's a government.
Oh.
Level, you know. Yeah.
That's,
Now you see, even in newspapers, research, etc., about happiness. That you didn't see this 25 years ago.
that's one thing we could goal to make a Ministry of Happiness in Sweden.
Yeah, or whatever. We can think for
Yeah.
another time we meet. But more or less that was
Yeah, that was.
summary. There were more things, but more or less this was a summary.
Yeah, I hope you got a feeling for.
You have any question?
Yeah.
Maybe
Any
we
questions
forgot
or
something.
thoughts or something? No. Yeah. So we're very grateful we could go. I'm very happy to go with Liliana.
Yes, we had fun.
Yes, we had lots of fun.
Never fought.
No, we never fought. No, we were trying to communicate the best we could. Yeah, so we were very, very grateful that we could go. And we hope that you were a bit inspired at least. And I thought it was wonderful to just be together, the generations. I think that's how it should be. I felt so alive and it was wonderful. And just to hear everybody's stories, both and also to hear, for example, Ella van Kampen was in my family and she had lots of interesting things to share, and of course everybody else as well. So it was a very good experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Maybe the last thing I got from Sara, she wrote to me yesterday in a WhatsApp that Phenix group are very happy and ready. If anybody in Europe wants to invite them again, they come to any country.
Yeah. And they're very well organized. I think you already mentioned that, but they're Maike, the German girl who invited them to Germany. She said that they're incredibly how to say. They have very good team and everything is very, very well organized. So they have like a schedule for every single thing. So they were very short. They never exceeded the schedule. So they were very much on time all the time. So never talking too much or just like very punctual with everything. And so it was very, very well organized.
Also, they pray together before they meet everybody.
Yeah.
So they have their own internal.
Yes, thank you very much. Finish with a song.